Please be seated. Please rise if you are able for the academic procession.
In the toil of thinking, in the serenity of books, in the messages of prophets, the songs of poets, and the wisdom of interpreters, in discoveries of continents of truth whose margins we may see, we delight in free minds and in their thinking. In the majesty of the moral order, in the faith that right will triumph, in the courage given to us when we ally ourselves to truth in any form, in the privilege of being co-workers in good causes, we celebrate the unseen goals we share and serve. Let us build a world safe from war and oppression, free and satisfying, one that ultimately furnishes answers for us all. Please be seated.
Hello. Nice to see everybody. Good morning. Welcome. I'm Charles Falzon. I'm Dean of the Creative School at Toronto Metropolitan University. Before we begin the celebrations, I'd like to acknowledge the land that we're celebrating on today. As most of you know, Toronto is on the Dish with One Spoon territory, and that Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, Mississaugas, and Haudenosaunee that bound those peoples together to share the territory and protect it. Subsequently, other indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. It is my true pleasure to be your MC today. It is a very special day for you and for all for your parents, for your friends. All of you, your presence here means a great deal. And because today, together, we're going to celebrate this important benchmark, this achievement of a credential from a highly respected program at the Creative School, at TMU, but also to celebrate something else, to celebrate your individual potential, the future of each graduate as you move forward. Graduates, I'd like to say a couple of things to you directly. As you step into the next phase of your lives, armed with the knowledge and skills you have acquired, armed with the credential, it is essential to recognize the immense responsibility and potential that comes with that privilege. The education you've received here at TMU and at the Creative School has equipped you, indeed, with tools necessary to navigate an ever-evolving and, boy, complex world. You're now prepared not only to adapt to change, you're prepared to be the architects of change. We live in a lifetime that demands creativity, it demands innovation, it demands more than ever empathy that comes with that creativity, your empathy. The challenges we face, from climate change to social injustice, require fresh perspectives, fresh narratives, and bold solutions. And that is precisely what you, graduates of TMU's Creative School, have to offer. You've been nurtured and inspired to think creatively, to think critically, to question the status quo, to push boundaries. Well, embrace that potential and wield it wisely. Remember, you're not just the transformed, you are the transformers. You have the ability to shape the world around you through your creative output, through your future endeavors. You have the potential to make a difference in the lives of others and to leave a lasting impact on society. So whether you choose to pursue a career in the arts, in technology, in entrepreneurship, or any other field, let your creativity be the driving and guiding force that propels you forward. As you embark on the new chapter, remember the values instilled in you during your time at TMU. Integrity, compassion, and a commitment to making a positive difference through your imagination, through your creativity. Stay true to these principles as you navigate the complexities of the world, both professionally and socially. Be compassionate leaders, fostering and nurturing environments that are inclusive and that are positive. And also places and environments that celebrate diversity and that empower, and you can empower others to unleash their creativity. You are strong, you are bold, and you are ready. The future is truly creative, and the future is yours to create. So now, to begin this very special day, I want to start off by introducing you to the Chancellor of Toronto Metropolitan University, Janice Fukakusa. Thank you.
Graduands, I am very proud and honored to speak to you today. It's a time of very well-deserved celebration, and we share our pride in your success with everyone whose love and support has played a part in bringing you here today. You've all been through a remarkable experience. You endured a pandemic, you succeeded by remaining committed to your studies and overcoming unforeseen obstacles. We're all so proud of your achievements as you are now here to celebrate your graduation. Remember, never stop learning, and you'll have a lifetime of accomplishments. The best way to achieve that is to cultivate your curiosity, because embracing opportunity and new challenges will expand your horizons and take you to places you had never imagined. As you navigate your career path, remember that work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to make that truly satisfying is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. You'll know when to find it. And finally, wherever the next step of your journey takes you, I ask of you this: give back to the community, to your workplace, and to your family and friends. Be a champion for causes that make lives better. For me, those causes are fighting cancer and also making education accessible to all. Whatever your cause is, weave it into your life as a personal passion. And on this special day of celebration, let me close by offering my congratulations and best wishes on your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Fukakusa. And now, please welcome the university's President and Vice Chancellor, the one and only Mohamed Lashemi.
Thank you, Dean. Good morning. Welcome to our graduates, family and friends, colleagues from across the university community and beyond. Class of 2024, this is an important day for you, and you have our warmest congratulations. Graduation is a special and rare moment, bringing together families and friends, colleagues and communities. Each of us, from our own unique background, represent the diversity of this country and the planet. All of us gathering to share these moments together. We all have our own journey. My journey has taken me from a tiny village in Africa to Canada's largest and most cosmopolitan city. A journey of more than just miles. It has been a journey of discovery about different cultures, ideas, different ways of seeing the world. And at the same time, understanding how much we truly have in common. Here today, in a time when we often see our differences, let's think about how our individual journeys come together at this special moment of celebration and joy. Let this be our aspiration for appreciating all that we share. With that in mind, I would like to ask for the next hour or two that we use our time and energy to acknowledge what the graduates have accomplished. I'm hopeful that despite the challenges around us in this world, we can all respect one another and respect the importance of why we have gathered here. Graduates, you know that graduates, you now have ahead of you a new chapter and bright future. You have what the world is looking for: talent, energy, and new ideas. We need you with these skills and qualities to help solve the problems that we are facing in this world. Your years here have prepared you for this moment. We are so very glad that you choose this university, that you immerse yourself in our university community. I hope you are feeling grateful for each other, for the good friends who shared your university experience and are now friends for life. Which brings us full circle. While we may find success as individuals, as a society, we depend on each other. We need loved ones, colleagues, and community. In French, you know we never say goodbye. Instead, we say au revoir, which literally means until we see you again. Enjoy your very special day and stay close to your alma mater, for together we will shape the future. Thank you.
Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashemi, Provost Yanacita Provenzano, deans, esteemed colleagues, and representatives who join us on stage, members of the graduating class, family members and friends, honored guests. It is now my privilege, my great privilege, to deliver the citation for Haroon Siddiqui, upon whom Toronto Metropolitan University is conferring the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa, our highest award. Throughout his almost 50-year career in journalism, Haroon Siddiqui has worked and lived by a set of guiding principles that have defined his career. His guidelines include: defend the Charter of Rights and multiculturalism, be firm against racism and bigotry, including Islamophobia and new anti-Semitism, give voice to the voiceless, bring the new Canadian cosmopolitan sensibility to public policy, lead public opinion. First at the Brandon Sun and then for 37 years at the Toronto Star, Mr. Siddiqui has been true to his pledge. Mr. Siddiqui came to Canada from his native India as a young journalist in 1968. He is the first visible minority, first South Asian, and first Muslim to have held many of the posts he has, including newspaper management executive, editor, columnist, and in-demand speaker. In his career, he has covered or supervised coverage of Canada's most influential political, social, and cultural events of our times. Reporting from nearly 50 countries, he has brought a global perspective to analyzing Canada's contemporary demographic evolution and its impact on public and private institutions, including the media. He has earned wide respect in the media industry and beyond, not only for the power of his words, but for being an effective and innovative leader, one focused on inclusivity. As editorial and open-page editor of the Toronto Star, he diversified both content and authors on the opinion, as well as letters to the editor pages. He broadened the stable of columnists by including women and visible minorities. He diversified topics by including issues of immigration, integration, equality, and geopolitical news developments of interest to multicultural communities in Canada. Among his honors have been the Order of Canada, Order of Ontario, 4 citations from the National Newspaper Awards, and the National Press Club's UNESCO Press Freedom Award. Beyond his considerable professional contributions, Mr. Siddiqui has strengthened civil society and democracy through years of civic engagement and contributions to a range of institutions, including this one. Between 2016 and 2018, Mr. Siddiqui was a distinguished visiting professor in the Faculty of Arts and the Creative School at TMU. Haroon Siddiqui, for your dedication to giving voice to the voiceless in order to create a better, more inclusive Canada, and for serving as an example of leadership, both as a journalist and as an involved citizen, we celebrate and honor you today. I would now like to call Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashemi, and Haroon Siddiqui to the podium for the conferring of the degree.
Toronto Metropolitan University, by virtue of the authority granted by the Province of Ontario under the Toronto Metropolitan University Act, has awarded the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa with all the rights and privileges attended thereon to Haroon Siddiqui.
Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashemi, Provost Iannacito Provenzano, Dean Falzon, other respected deans, members of the graduating class, your dear family and friends, good morning. The honorary doctorate that you have kindly conferred on me today belongs to many, many people who have guided me and helped me through my long life in India and Canada. But it really belongs primarily to my parents, the late Hafiz Muhammad Musa and the late Hafiz Amtul Basir, who provided me and my siblings and myself with a gloriously happy childhood. And they were indulgent of my many, many failures. I failed at pre-engineering. I failed at pre-med. I failed at I meandered my way through a science degree. I flirted with English literature. Finally settled on journalism, which eventually worked out. That's my way of saying to you, don't be afraid of failure. Don't be stressed out about your immediate job prospects. You have a long career ahead of you and long life. You can't possibly know what all the future holds for you. All you can do is prepare for it, which you have done, and for which I'll pass on some tips that may be useful. At convocations like this, speakers usually tell graduating students to be idealistic, to aim high, to go out and change the world. I'm going to tell you to aim low, very low. Because it's really the little things in life that make big things possible. You have to change yourself before you can change the world. The most important thing I've learned through the most successful people in the world is the following. Self-discipline is the key to your success. Don't procrastinate what you have to do at home, at work, in the school, at any time. A boss I knew had a plaque on his desk which said, "Do it now." Not a bad motto to follow, because everything that you postpone and don't do is a monkey on your back. How many monkeys are you going to gather by the end of the day? That question will dog you all through your life. So don't let monkeys gather on your shoulders. Are you on time for your appointments? Or are you habitually late and forever making false excuses? Do you keep deadlines? Are you often playing catch-up? I'll share a secret with you. In corporate offices, when we want something very important done, we give it to the busiest person in the office. Why? Because she's organized, she doesn't fritter away her time, and she will indeed get it done on time. There's a lesson in it. Do you answer your email promptly? I find that the busiest and most important people usually answer right away. They obviously have the discipline, the work ethic, and the good manners to respond in time. You will have to also learn something else besides your brilliance in your own chosen field. You will have to learn to speak briefly, speak cogently, and be articulate, and also learn to write well. Because the most successful people, be they academics, artists, architects, bankers, engineers, politicians, you will find the most successful ones are very articulate, and they're brief, and they're on point, which is a way of saying, if you go on and on and on, people will tune you out. This applies to some professors too. Listen to others rather than the sound of your own voice. Be modest. Don't call yourself the CEO of a company of which you are the only employee. You will also find that life can be very unfair. Success is often a matter of luck and who has guided you along the way. So you need to cultivate mentors. To find good mentors, you have to mingle with people smarter than you, not dumber than you. If I'm sounding like your mom and dad, I am. Because your mom and dad are far smarter than you think. When they nagged you about throughout your life, has real value in life. Their advice is going to be very useful to you in your career now. So be grateful to them and thank them. Many of you here at TMU are members of BIPOC communities, immigrants, children of immigrants, international students, a rainbow of minorities. In this country, however, minorities have had a rough time historically. They have been looked down upon. Their cultures, their languages, their food, their literature, their lifestyles have been devalued. But in the new multicultural Canada, all cultures are valid, all cultures are valued. So be proud of who you are. Don't apologize for the color of your skin or the crinkle in your hair. Don't change your name. Don't mispronounce it. Make others stretch their muscles to learn to pronounce your name properly. If drinking is not part of your culture or your religion, don't go to a pub. If you do go, don't apologize for ordering ginger ale. The Canada that you have grown up in and will now make your career in has been created literally in the last 40 or 50 years. It is mostly the result of the 1982 Constitution passed by Justin Trudeau's father, also a Prime Minister, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Section 27 of the Charter of Rights says, "This charter shall be interpreted in a manner consistent with the preservation and enhancement of the multicultural heritage of Canadians." And Section 28 says, "Rights and freedoms are guaranteed equally to male and female persons." Half the federal cabinet in Ottawa is women, has been since 2015. Here in Toronto, as you know, a majority of people are both foreign-born and people of color. The mayor of Toronto, as we all know, is Chinese-Canadian. Across Canada, people of color hold very important political positions today that was unimaginable 40 or 50 years ago. Here on this stage alone, your chancellor is Japanese-Canadian, the first woman chancellor of this university. Your president is an immigrant from a remote village in Algeria. Your provost is Italian-Canadian. Your dean is Maltese-Canadian. One day you will occupy similar positions soon. Such is the glory of New Canada. Canada is also the only Western nation with a national consensus in favor of immigration. That is nothing short of a miracle. We take it for granted, but it's really nothing short of a miracle because Americans are building a wall to keep brown Latinos out from the South. Europeans are putting up barriers to non-whites from Africa and the Middle East. Anti-immigrant parties are winning all over Europe as they did last week in the European elections. But here in Canada, no political party can win an election on an anti-immigrant platform. Let's not also forget that this new glorious multicultural Canada is an outgrowth of our indigenous roots. We are repeatedly reminded of this by the great Canadian author John Ralston Saul, who has joined on the stage today. The indigenous peoples enlarged their circle of friendship to welcome white settlers, taught them how to survive the harsh winters, what to eat, how to fish, how to get around in a canoe. Later, these settlers committed cultural genocide on the indigenous peoples. Still, the 1867 British North America Act, which created the Dominion of Canada, recognized three collectivities. We forget this often, that it recognized three collectivities: the indigenous peoples, the French-speaking Catholics, and the English-speaking Protestants. The give and take between individual and collective rights is what gave us peace, order, and good government, not civil war as in the United States. Canada has plenty of problems, sure. There is, of course, racism and bigotry still in abundance. But don't go looking for racism under every rock. Don't be grievance-driven. Be positive about this country. Canada is not nirvana, of course, but Canada is as close to nirvana as it gets in this world. So be proud of Canada. Keep Canada Canadian. Resist the tidal wave of American culture and politics on our TV, our radio, our music, and especially the social media. Sure, the internet has been one of the greatest inventions on earth, but paradoxically, it has also poisoned the world. Social media are full of misinformation, disinformation, fake news, alternative facts, conspiracy theories, bigotry, misogyny, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, homophobia, xenophobia, nativism, and incitement to violence against mostly minorities. How are you sorting out the garbage from the good in this sewer of information? Increasingly also, people on social media talk only to those who share their views on the platform of their choice. The more they retreat into their silos, the more tribalized as a society we become, and the less likely we are to find the common ground that holds democracies together. Are you, ask yourself, are you holed up in some such silo yourself? These dangers that I'm talking about have been created, lest we forget, by American high-tech giants whose algorithms get us hooked on emotion rather than logic, the sensational rather than the sober. These American corporations have made trillions of dollars at your and my expense, stealing your and my data for free, and also using the content that you are producing and giving it to them for free. So this is my way of saying we are being had by American corporations at the expense of the Canadian common good. Social media have created a world in which too many people have lost the distinction between fact and fiction. Therefore, Donald Trump. Canada is not immune to Trumpism, but Canada is not broken regardless of what some politicians say. Canadian politics is not corrupt, as some cynics on radio would say. Our parliamentary democracy works despite all its shortcomings. So participate in our democracy, improve it. Do vote in every election. Volunteer for a candidate, any candidate in any election. Get engaged in your neighborhood. That's far better than eyeing on your iPhone and ignoring the people around you. One last thing. What makes Canada also unique is how large it is. The second largest landmass in the world, and how stunningly beautiful it is. So get out of this big village called Toronto and go and see Canada. Coast to coast to coast, by air, by road, by canoe, by boat. The breadth and beauty of this land and the majesty of it will blow you away. So we are all blessed to be Canadians. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Siddiqui. Dr. Siddiqui. Truly inspiring words. Okay, it's showtime. Are we ready for this? It's your moment. So, a couple of things. As graduates prepare to come up here, I want to take the opportunity to request, in theory, that your applause until you hold your applause until all graduates have crossed the stage. Okay, just to keep things moving. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I'm supposed to say that. So I did. You know, we understand, right? These are creative school programs, so you have all kinds of expression capacity. That wasn't in my script. So we do, however, of course we do welcome spontaneous outbursts of joy and enthusiasm, and from the parents and friends, maybe even a relief that this day is happening. One thing I will say that is serious, though, we want to make sure that all graduates are celebrated equally. So we ask that everyone please remain for the true. So I now ask to come forward and thank in advance the university's interim registrar, Sherry Hodges.
Thank you. Will the graduands please rise if you are able? Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashemi, Provost Ayanachito Provenzano, honored guests, faculty members, staff, families, and friends of the graduands. I have the honor and pleasure to present graduands from Toronto Metropolitan University's The Creative School degree programs. Our graduands include all those who are joining us for today's ceremony, as well as those unable to attend who are graduating in absentia. I certify that each has met the academic requirements for the awards that they are about to receive, and that each has been duly approved by Toronto Metropolitan University's Senate. Congratulations to each of you. Please be seated.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the undergraduate degrees in the Creative School. Bachelor of Fine Arts in Image Arts, Film Studies. Jamie Aklashi. Gahul Amirtha Gainason. Millicent Amarao. Sydney Beaton, with distinction. Vanessa Bennett. Olivia Broly Detella. Matthew Chiarelli. Skylar Chokus. Chloe DeSally. Alexander Yefimov. Shai Elbum. Vanessa Yusei Bioe. Jai Yu Feng, with distinction. Emma Fernandez, with distinction. Emily Feather, with distinction. Renee Foy, with distinction. Jacinta Gasper, with distinction. Coyote Anne Lucille George. Ethan Hector. Julia Hogg. Vishnu J. Gathasiwaran. Shane Kelly, with distinction. Sean Kim, with distinction. Julia Lalonde, with distinction. Victoria Learn, with distinction. Jia Chien Li. Queena Liu, with distinction. Andrea Lopez Alfonso. Nathan Maxa, with distinction. Brian Malla. Alexandra Manilow, with distinction. Beatrice Martin, with distinction. Aiden McGuire, with distinction. Matthew Morale, with distinction. Katie Murday, with distinction. William Peng, with distinction. Hannah Gulzar Peters, with distinction. Ariel Ravitz, with distinction. Kira Robertson. Christian Skaney, with distinction. Christian Sell. Janelle Sinclair, with distinction. Elliot Stone. Nicholas Stroganov, with distinction. Parker Wales, with distinction. Angela Wang. Spencer Wither, with distinction. Julia Zolota, with distinction. Victoria Zuberi, with distinction. Bachelor of Fine Arts in Image Arts, Photography, Media Arts. Razan Abu Isifan. Olivia Boca. Kennedy Soon Bouchard. Alec Boyle, with distinction. Isabella Adele Della Pena, with distinction. Sabrina Deuce. Laura Gao. Olivia Gentle. Jodele Amy Gilpin, with Iodele Amy Gilpin, with distinction. Michaela Gray, with distinction. Diana Gums, with distinction. Eve Violet Hanning. Sydney Hack, with distinction. Ika Jaladze, with distinction. Aaron Kelly. Charlotte Lai, with distinction. Connor Leck. Nicolette Lytle. Jillian McDonald. Miles Moser. Tarangini Nair. Avery Nelson Webb, with distinction. Nicole Novak. Kate Oxford, with distinction. Logan Raymond, with distinction. James Robbins. Justin Roque. Olivia Salerno, with distinction. Arjat Sandawalia. Ashley Sebin, with distinction. Amrit Singh. Amelia Sapta, with distinction. Daniela Venezuela, with distinction. Samuel Vizelaris Wilson. Alvin Bojung Zhang. Bachelor of Journalism. Maha Abbasi. Jimsindi Aguncha, with distinction. Sonia Ali. Jelena Ashman. What? Aisha Ashraf, with distinction. Farkaunda Azizalula, with distinction. Mariam Azam, with distinction. Lauren Battagello. Stephanie Beatty, with distinction. Nathan Barat, with distinction. Apurva Bhatt, with distinction. Madeline Bonavota, with distinction. Brittany Boston, with distinction. Natasha Badai. Isabella Cardarelli. Joshua Chang, with distinction. Sakina Chaudhry, with distinction. Ishita Chopri, with distinction. Chantel Colosimo. Isabella Daniel, with distinction. Victor Elias, with distinction. Kirsten Fee, with distinction. Kayla Fonte, with distinction. Lynette George, with distinction. Galcha Gormu. Lily Han, with distinction. Anfal Hanif. Layla Gamal Hashim. Yazua Ho, with distinction. Mana Hosseini, with distinction. Ilyas Hossein, with distinction. Mia Faye Johnson, with distinction. Angie Kalas. Zoe Karajanis, with distinction. Saha Kingston Wayne. Victoria Kolomietz. Lauren Kovacs. Julia Lawrence. Chi Lun Liao, with distinction. Yongchi Johnny Lin, with distinction. Masada Lochan Aristide, with distinction. Daniela Lopez, with distinction. Daisha Lapi. Fidela Reese Magulubnan. Curtis Martin. Dana Masamra, with distinction. Amanda McGee, with distinction. Hannah Mercanti, with distinction. Isabella Carolina Monaco. Kaylin Monkman, with distinction. Sakita Morgan. Emma Marie Mabuyed, with distinction. Sieda Alila Nakvi. Holly Newell. Patrick Pearson. Anna Petridis. Nika Petrosian. Charlotte Pote Bonneville, with distinction. Tyler Prosick, with distinction. Arpita Kadir. Montserrat Quintana Ramos. Ursula Ravindran, with distinction. Imran Raymond. Seda Fatima Raza, with distinction. Danielle Reed. Mohammed Rimzi. Talia Saley, with distinction. Mariana Schutz Andrade, with distinction. Matthew Sheridan, with distinction. Amelia Singh, with distinction. Caitlin Stock. Gabriel Suarez. Shaki Sutharsan, with distinction. Nushra Syed, with distinction. Matthew Tassilopoulos. Parker Tice. Bianca Thompson. Julia Tremonton, with distinction. Sonia Tumker, with distinction. Nicholas Viveros, with distinction. Robert Vanna. Erica Wedgbury, with distinction. Sheridan Williamson Frazier, with distinction. Bridget Wren, with distinction. Shane Uchin. Bana Yergalum. Bachelor of Arts in Media Production. My people. Shiza Amir with distinction. Zares Ahmed with distinction. Ahmed Samir Ahmad Shah. Christine On with distinction. Ryan Alderdice with distinction. Sienna Armstrong with distinction. Sarah Arnott with distinction. Alicia Better with distinction. Andrew Basso with distinction. Adam Bazana. Dan Benner with distinction. Levi Bosch with distinction. Chelsea Campbell with distinction. Nicholas Canito with distinction. Aaron Kaye with distinction. Stacy Cernova with distinction. Olivia Cerrone with distinction. Stephen Chow with distinction. Helen Chen with distinction. Yuna Cho with distinction. Anthony Chong with distinction. Faith Ann Clark with distinction. John Kukelia with distinction. Eden Cupid with distinction. Annika DeBroy with distinction. Catherine Zita Diaz with DeAndre Dixon. Ethan Esposo with distinction. Matthew Feldman with distinction. Sierra Finkelstein. Annie Gan Xiaoyu with distinction. Marley Guerin with distinction. Reginald Jekyll with distinction. Dhruv Gogia with distinction. Amanda Goldstein with distinction. Hadar Greenbaum with distinction. Charlie Grosvenor with distinction. Sophie Hafner with distinction. Nathaniel Hahn with distinction. Megan Grace Ophelia Hargrave with distinction. Emma Irene Hill. Hannah Hormiliata with distinction. Emma May Beiying Hosey with distinction. Nicole Samantha Huff. Bailey Yorio Wilson with distinction. Angeli Jakarin with distinction. Gabrielle Jemmett with distinction. Aryan Kanji with distinction. Insha Khan with distinction. Chaewon Kim with distinction. Jenny Kim with distinction. Nicholas Krasnazhin with distinction. Timothy Kruti. Odin Kacharik. Elisa Lamoli with distinction. Kiana Lashgari. Daniel Lee. Joyce Lee with distinction. Anna Lei Huang with distinction. Julian Angelo Leone. That's your name? James Chintat Lim with distinction. Tate Linton. Michael Lovato with distinction. Lu Hui Wai. Laura Machado Faria. Tatum McKee with distinction. Olivia Matcher with distinction. Melanie Manica Vassiger with distinction. Angeli Joyce Evelyn Messiah. Nicholas McAllister with distinction. Karenza McCarthy with distinction. Madeline McGowan Lenny with distinction. Samantha McNulty with distinction. Kaylee May with distinction. Benjamin Moffitt. Rory Moldovsky with distinction. Alex Musavi with distinction. Nicholas Muya with distinction. Rehane Namita Najad. Sophia Nemechek with distinction. Anchi Nguyen with distinction. Madeline Negro with distinction. Stefan Joseph Richard Normando with distinction. Patricia Nueva Orlando. Rowan O'Hagan with distinction. David Oliva Wiebe, with distinction. Joshua Olivieros, with distinction. Stuart Osborne, with distinction. Nicholas Peach. Jed Kevin Parada, with distinction. Minori Peters. Sarah Praveet, with distinction. Madeline Renshaw, with distinction. Gregor Reynolds, with distinction. Sheridan Rigelow, with distinction. Jasna Ravas Vasquez, with distinction. Dana Raka, with distinction. Carly Rogers, with distinction. Michael Rosa. Jordan Salsky, with distinction. Jessica Francesca Scopoliti, with distinction. Sophia Shabazadeh, with distinction. Adriana Catalina Soliz Lozanzo, with distinction. Anna Spencer, with distinction. Jake Stendel, with distinction. Josh Storm, with distinction. Eric Struck, with distinction. Grace Sun, with distinction. Janice Huwei Zing Tian. Samantha T, with distinction. Ashal Tudafala, with distinction. William Turgeon, with distinction. Stephen Van. Michael Vasiliev, with distinction. Rioche Wang, with distinction. Betty Yihui Wang, with distinction. Alexandra Watson, with distinction. Alexandra Vodovchik, with distinction. Romy Weltman, with distinction. Ben Westheimer, with distinction. Penelope Wilker, with distinction. Ernest Zachary Wong. Anna Shaw, with distinction. Aili Yamamoto, with distinction. Marina Yap. Sophia Yarish, with distinction. Jessica Reina Zado, with distinction. Very proud of each and every one of you. I look up to you. Always enjoy your life and always be happy. Bachelor of Fine Arts in New Media. Sarah Abulrich, with distinction. Justin Cow, with distinction. Ivy Chan Winlam. Ruzong Ji. Madeline Gillis, with distinction. Madeline Hackborn, with distinction. Avery Horlock. Mary Frances Howard, with distinction. Brian Huck. Kranru Ji, with distinction. Samantha Kuwak, with distinction. Nicola Kra, with distinction. Shuyen Lai. Gavin Leon. Carly Lukanen, with distinction. Morgan McNeely. Mateo Mendoza, with distinction. Fatin Mohammed Nizam. Simone Nadim, with distinction. Nara Narisyan, with distinction. Tyler Nguyen, with distinction. Aya Noor, with distinction. Dana Paoletti. Miguel Paragas. Banu Anita Prasad, with distinction. Nicholas Pienchak, with distinction. Jonathan Russell. Elijah Santos. Connor Stratton. Michael Selle, with distinction. Megan Wong, with distinction. Chi Him Wong. Crystal Wong, with distinction. Kevin Wong. Amna Zafar. Xiaohan Zhang, with distinction. Zhou Zheng. Bachelor of Arts Honors in Professional Communication. Hani Al-Salha. Sabrina Amin, with distinction. Francis Andrice. Jillian Badgley. Allison Barlow, with distinction. Elizabeth Bugatis, with distinction. Angelique Branker. Michelle Bowie. Amy Byers, with distinction. Tyler Campbell, with distinction. Taylor Caruso, with distinction. Samantha Cheng, with distinction. Kayla Cho, with distinction. Kamtu Chu, with distinction. McKenna County. Kiara Couturier, with distinction. Helena Dagnew. Sophia Davis, with distinction. Dante De Domenico, with distinction. Anthony Dos Santos, with distinction. Michaela Ferrero, with distinction. Victoria Festa. Ben Frolic, with distinction. Angeline Gisani, with distinction. Maximiliano Hero Tiscarino, with distinction. Samantha Holensky, with distinction. Mercia Hussein, with distinction. Olivia Iabani, with distinction. Ibanesh J.R. Raja, with distinction. Vendanti Jawana. Hafsa Race Bano Khan. Donna Kleiman. Erica Noor, with distinction. Catherine Coppa, with distinction. Catherine Coppa, with distinction. Jocelyn Kwan, with distinction. Maria Regina Ledesma Rivadeneira, with distinction. We want to sing victory together. Hannah Feliza Lim. Ariana Logan Thompson. Alexandra Mansueto, with distinction. Michael Martino, with distinction. Carson McDougall, with distinction. Hannah McKinley. Haiti Bianca Mazzaros. Marina Morgan, with distinction. Sierra Morin, with distinction. Fiona Murray, with distinction. Grace Morell, with distinction. Julie Musicar. Michelle Nakamura. Raj Lakshmi Nayak, with distinction. Tayo Odeyemi. Karen Ori. Sarah Power, with distinction. Asia Price, with distinction. Stephanie Puebla Dominguez, with distinction. Vanessa Ricci, with distinction. Marcus Ruth, with distinction. Sarah Ross. Apurba Roy. Adelaide Santos. Daisy Schuler, with distinction. Margaret Scott, with distinction. Paige Seaburn, with distinction. Sophia Serafini, with distinction. Liam Shapiro. Evangelia Sumkis, with distinction. Claudia Smith. Gabriella Smith McCullough. Leah Steen. Francesca Strangis, with distinction. Adrian Tabinga, with distinction. Emily Teed, with distinction. Catherine Veyu, with distinction. Alexia Vitarello, with distinction. Christiana Webster, with distinction. Grace Witch-Cherrick. Jennifer Worsfold. Ron Young, with distinction. Danilo Zadrovic, with distinction. Bachelor of Arts in Sports Media. Alexander Antoniadis. Antoniadis, with distinction. Justin Arclay. Ryan Aruda. Sam Bird, with distinction. Jacob Bizante, with distinction. Liam Boatsmith, with distinction. Kyle Ballers. Antonia Benaldi, with distinction. Megan Bromley, with distinction. Lucas Burns, with distinction. Julia Chugai, with distinction. Kenan Cameron, with distinction. Kyle Checo. Ryan Saraceni. Aditi Shada. Max Clark with distinction. Malik Clark with distinction. Kit Corsini with distinction. Sneha Dakuna with distinction. Philip D'Souza with distinction. Daniela Denizito with distinction. Casey Dobson with distinction. Philip Dodson. Rania El Hilali with distinction. Robert Fusco. Sean Graywall with distinction. Michaela Garashi with distinction. Kaylee Hall with distinction. One of my best and dearest friends in the whole world, Tony Kwan Ho.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Haley Hollander with distinction. Dominique Homer. Adam Ianetta with distinction. Nakeem Khan. Joshua Kim with distinction. Mackenzie Kruger with distinction. Alexander Lalonde with distinction. Kiana Loblack. Aaron McPherson with distinction. Serena Marinelli DuPont with distinction. Jamie David Masson. Noah Lanny Maynard with distinction. Ryan McMahon with distinction. Krina Mustafa with distinction. Daniel Naranjo. Hannah Nickel with distinction. Jada Negro with distinction. Spencer Oaks with distinction. Claire Palmer. Chiara Palmieri with distinction. Jen Park Vandal, with distinction. Lola Parrish, with distinction. Cassidy Pribianca Upson, with distinction. Cornell Poirier. Julian Quintero Varano. Ewan Russell, with distinction. Matthew Santaguida, with distinction. Damian Smith. Kirsten Spade. Christopher Vasilakos, with distinction. Alex Wathy, with distinction. Juliana Webb, with distinction. Kylie Wong, with distinction. Henry Wright, with distinction. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the graduate degrees in the Creative School. Master of Digital Media. Temidayo Grace Adesanya. Chinedum Anarabi. Priyam Biswas. Now Zi Sheng. Rudra Shekhar Das. Lin Do. Crystal Fernandez. Fatima Hematapur. Muhammad Haider. Human Hussan. Kimia Karazi. Mandy Kwan. Kevin Leon. Ru Lin. Ebenezer Hans Mensa. Atabak Mohammed Zada. Gazelle Om. Lucas Spinelli. Kaman Carmen Tam. Ashan Takvim. Truck Lin Tram. Lawrence Shrung Yu Chu. Ansa Wasim. Nianlong Wu. Wen Yu Zheng. Master of Journalism. Luca Della Penna. Drew Ann Glennie. Tori Goodwin. Sam Jabri Pickett. Jambri. Helen Jacob. Mackenzie McDonald. Prarthana Pathak. Maria Postelenak. Lydia Raichen. Sahana Ranganathan. Mackenzie Rebello. Sheila Reed. Maria Robinson. Leslie Sinclair. Tarek Tahan. Master of Arts in Media Production. Chandler Buchanan. Emma Traversa. Paris Treble. Fellas, Madam Chancellor, I think that's all I got. That concludes the presentation of today's graduates. Congratulations.
And the exams that you've written, the student groups, the passion projects, the events and the games, they all represent the many ways you help build this community that will live on well past graduation. Whether your families, friends, and supporters are near or far today, I know they are celebrating this achievement with you. You've completed something significant, and great opportunities await you. As you enter this next phase of your lives, I challenge you to keep growing and using your unique voices to change the world. Never be afraid to be courageous, to be loud, and to be bold. Finally, thank you for choosing us. We're so proud that you'll forever be a part of the TMU community.
Today is about celebrating how far you've come.
And we'd like to take this opportunity to talk about how far you're going to go.
You have become a part of something bigger.
Graduating from TMU is a major milestone.
I still remember exactly how I felt when I was in your seat on this very day. I definitely had a mixture of emotions.
I was just feeling very proud.
At Convocation, I felt very prepared for my career, but very excited, but also a little sad.
Quite optimistic.
Nostalgic.
I felt excited and I felt prepared.
Walking across that stage at Convocation meant that I fulfilled personal goals, but I also fulfilled the goals of the family, and that was really important.
As much as it was the end of the chapter, it was actually the start of something great.
And I had so many questions, like, how am I going to make my big dreams come true?
Do I have it all figured out?
How am I going to come back?
So it was party time, but also you got some work to do down the road. Start thinking about it.
As a member of the TMU alumni community, we are here to show you that you have a safety net.
As TMU alumni, you are part of a supportive network of people
who are committed to lifting each other up and helping each other grow.
Today,
tomorrow,
and always.
So just take a deep breath.
Enjoy this moment.
And remember, we're here to support you.
And we can't wait to see what you go on to accomplish.
Well, they should buy the picture frame. Buy the picture frame.
Wow, you did it. So you're letting it sink in? You're just amazing. So proud of you. So the next speaker, I want you to really applaud loudly because she's my boss, actually, so I want to impress. I want you to welcome, please, the Provost and Vice President Academic, Roberta Iannacito Provenzano.
Thank you very much, Dean Falzon. Welcome, guests, esteemed faculty and staff, proud parents, and above all, graduates of the class of 2024. It is a tremendous honor to stand before you on this momentous occasion. Today we gather to celebrate not just the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and perseverance, but also the beginning of new journeys, new challenges, and new opportunities. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Each step in your journey has been marked by growth, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. You have navigated the complexities of academic life, balanced the demands of rigorous coursework with extracurricular passions, and overcome unprecedented challenges, especially those posed by a global pandemic and the complexities of what's going on in the world. Your adaptability and determination have been nothing short of inspiring. As we bring today's convocation ceremony to a close, I would like us to reflect on the experiences that have led to this moment. Graduates, your time at TMU has prepared you for a world that is ever-changing, increasingly complex and interconnected. You've been equipped with the skills, the knowledge, the critical thinking necessary to thrive in your fields. More importantly, you have learned the value of community, collaboration, and innovation. These are the pillars upon which our university stands and the values that will guide you as you step into the future. As you embark on this next chapter, I encourage you to embrace the unknown with confidence, with boldness, with curiosity, every day challenging the status quo. The world is full of possibilities, but it also presents complex challenges that require not only creative solutions, but compassionate ones. Whether you're entering any field, remember that you have the power to make a difference. Your education has given you the tools to not only succeed, but to lead and to inspire, and most of all, to transform. I would also like to take this moment to acknowledge and thank the families and friends and mentors who've supported you throughout this journey. Your achievements today are a testament to their unwavering support and belief in your potential. Graduates, let's take a moment to express our gratitude loudly to those who have been with you every step of the way. As you leave TMU, carry with you the lessons learned, the friendships forged, and the memories that you've created. Stay connected to your alma mater, for you are now part of a vibrant and dynamic network of TMU alumni who are making a meaningful impact around the world. In closing, I'd like to share a quote from Maya Angelou, and I know our dean will really love this. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Let this be a reminder that your potential is limitless and your capacity to innovate, make change, and create is boundless. Congratulations, class of 2024. We are incredibly proud of you and excited to see the remarkable contributions you'll make to the world. Go forth with confidence, courage, and the knowledge that you are always part of the TMU family. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Provost. So we're pretty much done. You know, I'd like to take a minute to thank everyone involved in this, the staff, the volunteers, the faculty here today. It's faculty here today and faculty who couldn't come have your back. They're so proud. They're proud almost as much as your parents and friends are right there. We all are rooting for you. And thanks to everybody who made this ceremony a wonderful experience for all. So, you know, I hope you can continue to have a great day. And once again, from the bottom of my heart, congratulations to every one of you. So we're going to sing the national anthem as the last thing we do. And I think of the words of Dr. Siddiqui in terms of our privilege of being in this country. So I now welcome Catherine Rowan from the Office of the Dean and the Faculty of Arts to sing the national anthem. For those who are standing, please for those who are standing, please remain for those who are able to stand, please stand until all of our graduates have left the arena. Graduates, please follow our arena marshals who will usher you to the 4th floor to join your family and friends. Thank you for celebrating with us today, and congratulations. Well done.